What's good, everybody? It is Friday, November 19, 2021, and this is your daily sports betting show of record. We like to call it the Early Edge. We are powered by the almighty SportsLine, the best value in all of sports betting, and it's not close. I, of course, am your leader, the coach. Normally, this is where we do the recap, but I got to bring the stars of the show in first today because we had one of the great days we've ever had on the show. Let me start live from Nashville, Tennessee. Mikey hitting the donkey parlay last night. It felt so good. Good morning, sir.
Yeah, it feels good to hit the donkey after a few weeks of 6 of 7 legs or 7 of 8 legs. So that was definitely nice to hit that one, and everything went perfectly as far as what we gave out on the game there. It was great.
Only one X, and I'll get to that X in a second. But first, I got to go to my man, Jay Smooth. And you know how much it hurts me to call him this, but he has backed up every word he has said the last week. Machine, your college basketball picks with Mad Max and the Thunderdome on fire. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Coach. Yes, shout out to Max. Both of us having a great week. Just going to keep the head down, keep rolling with it, get some good picks out today, and try to keep building.
Well, you mentioned picks, and I mentioned picks from last night's show. And there was only one, but I remember distinctly on the show saying there's only one pick that would miss. Am I right, Mikey? Because Max didn't watch the show, and he missed that prop bet. But there was actually one pick that just rose above all the rest. And I know there's a lot of people watching this morning that were not watching last night. So I'd like to do the recap a little different this morning and roll back that one pick from last night. I believe it was the Patriots minus 6.5. Can we roll that, jeweler, please?
All right, that's a good omen. I'm laying the points with the Patriots tonight. Terrible spot with the Titans and the Bills on deck. But as we know, the Falcons cannot stop the run. 31st in rush defense. I think the Patriots, with Trent Brown back on the O-line, they're as healthy as they've been all season. They're going to run all over them. No Patterson for the Falcons. I'm laying the points. Go Pats and go Team Shaw in the championship game.
Maestro. Your thoughts?
I mean, is that going to be on HQ or CD? I mean, how many times are we going to show this? I mean, I think everyone in the world has now seen that.
I don't know. I don't know.
It.
But the big question is, did you win the game?
You guys are not going to believe this. There was a mix-up. We usually play the league on Mondays. They scheduled the championship game for Thursday because of the holiday week. Nobody called the refs or the scoreboard operator. So both teams are waiting. And no refs, no scoreboard. They couldn't get it together. We're playing it Monday instead. We just played pickup. We just played pickup against each other, but it didn't count.
That is classic rec league basketball at its best. I mean, you went and got your pump on, you put your lotion on, you were all fired up and ready to go, and then there was no game. But I like to look at it as a positive. That means on Monday, we get to do it all over again. Let's go. Oh, that was beautiful. Julia, can you throw up the recap real quick? I just want to see all the green X's, or excuse me, the green check marks. Look at that. That's as close to a perfect day as you could possibly get, in addition to all the individual plays. We had the donkey parlay, as I mentioned, and also the jeweler's teaser won easily last night. I mean, we had 30 points of value on the under after teasing it up. That's why you watch the show. Knowledge is power. All right, let's get into...
I got to jump in right here. Sorry about that board. And I know we've been giving Max some grief for ruining a perfect night. It was 11-1 with the picks there, plus the donkey parlay. That's plus 15 or more units for the show. And Max had the only blemish. And I know that kind of stings us because we didn't get a perfect night. But I should point out, in his last 3 days on the site, Max is 9-0. Jay Smooth is 8-0. These two young guns are going head-to-head in college basketball. Max off to a 14-5 start, plus 8.5 units. Jay Smooth, 19-11, plus almost 7 units. And the veterans like me and Zach are looking up at them. We'll see where it ends up, when the season's over. But right now, those guys are 17-0 combined the last 3 days, these two guys.
Let's go.
I know I'm kind of new to sports betting. I mean, I just kind of arrived, but that's pretty good, right? That's good. That's good. There is one man on the screen right now that knows what it's like to go 20-0. That happened. Whoa, that was nice, wasn't it, Mikey? That was nice.
It was a good run.
Yeah.
Always a good time in baseball.
Oh, it's going to come back. It's going to come back. We're having a great run right now. We're having a lot of fun doing it. So let's jump into the show today, guys. By the way, a little housekeeping. Don't forget, if you haven't followed our YouTube page, do it right now. You're watching us right now. We have our college football feed, college football show in your feed, our mega NFL weekly show in your feed, and then today, props, 2 p.m. Eastern time, in your feed live with Prop Stars and Uncle Dave Richard. All right, storylines that could affect the betting lines today. I believe, Larry, you're the only one with the storyline today. What do you got?
Okay, and I just want to address somebody in the chat talking about Matt Severance. He also is off to a solid start in college hoops at 18-12, and our new expert, Matt Howe, is also doing well, 6-3. So a lot of great college hoops on the site. But I want to talk about this Ravens-Bears spread because it was at 6. We're seeing it all the way down to 4.5. Lamar missed 2 practices this week with a non-COVID illness. He has never missed a game in his 4-year career, but this is the first week he's missed more than 1 practice. So that is a little bit concerning. Obviously, today is going to be huge to watch the injury reports, but the Bears, even coming off of their bye, no Hicks, no Mack, no Allen Robinson in terms of practice yesterday. And the Bears, according to Matt Severance, which he has a great article up on the site right now about the Ravens and Bears spread, 0-7 straight up, 0-7 against the spread coming off a bye. That's the worst record, obviously, in all of football.
Wow. Troy Aikman had a great line last night on Thursday Night Football. He said, I was just glad the Lions-Steelers game was over. He said, I was just glad when it ended. I was tired of watching it. All right. I want to make sure. Mikey, J Smooth, no storylines from you today, correct? All right.
Correct.
Let's move on to our board for today, and let's try to duplicate what we did on Thursday. So one play from the site. And by the way, if you're not a SportsLine member yet, I've given you all the information you could possibly need this morning to be a member. But I'll do you one even more. If you're still a little bit weary and you're not sure, use a promo code EDGE. We'll give you 30 days for free. You can try out everything. Analysis, simulations, all the cappers, all the guys I have on the show today, they're there, plus everybody else. Use that promo code EDGE. So one play from the site today, Brandon Wise. He's our boxing guy. There is a huge pay-per-view match fight this weekend. Terrence Crawford and Mr. Sean Porter. It's going to be great. Saturday night WBO welterweight title is on the line. We're going to go Terrence Crawford by decision -120. Now, this should prove to be a banger. But both guys just don't get knocked out. They don't. We believe Terrence Crawford, and he believes he's the better boxer. He is angry. He got let go by his promotion. He's new over at ESPN. So we believe Crawford is going to be motivated and keep that incredible record moving. All right, let's go to my guys. And you know I love doing this so much, like so many other things. M Squared, let's start it off today. You know the drill, son! Give it to me.
All right, headed to college basketball today. Early tip-off here, 11 a.m. Central Time, 9 a.m. this morning for you, Coach. We're taking Utah State here in this game. Both of these 2 teams played yesterday. Utah State ended up going to double overtime. That's why you see frankly, the value in the market. This early in the season, I'm not incredibly worried about it, considering the other team also played a competitive game yesterday. So I'm playing them at +4.5. I think this line should be a lot closer to a pick'em. I like the wins that they've had on the year, including an outright winner by 11 points when they were 6.5-point dogs to Richmond. I think they have a slight edge in terms of rebounding here, and I think they are a better shooting team from the perimeter. Should be a very competitive game. If you look at all the games that they've played so far, they just end up in competitive games. I just think it's too many points here at 4.5.
Yeah, I agree with you too. I watched the second half of that New Mexico State Davidson game yesterday, and they just shot. They were on fire. You don't do that 2 days in a row in a 3-day tournament. I played a lot of those in college, and I'm telling you, from the first day to the second day, the legs go. The legs go. I love your analysis today by that for Utah State. All right, Jay Smooth, the Maestro. I don't know how much you paid him this morning, but you paid him a lot, because he just put you over like $1 million, which is how much money you've been winning people the last 8 picks. I know you're nervous. I'm nervous for you. But what do we got today?
I'm not too nervous. It's really just continuing to be consistent and going at it. We're gonna take losses. We're gonna cool off. We're gonna stay hot sometimes. But I don't know what. We'll just get to the picks today. We have two. First of them is gonna come from the model. I'm gonna take James Madison plus 3.5. You can still get it at 3.5 at FanDuel. It's actually come down on most books. Some even have 2.5. I think this one should be closer to a pick 'em. I actually have them minus 1 point. I like them to maybe win on their home court. The model has done very well on home dogs. So grab 3.5, even 3 works for me here on James Madison to beat George Mason. And then my next pick is not going to be from the model. This is going to be something that I've just, been watching a lot of college basketball, still know what I'm talking about, even if there isn't as much math behind it. But I'm going to take Georgetown to beat Siena minus 16.5. Siena hasn't had a game that comes in less than 16.5. They've lost all of their games by about 20 points or so. And today they're getting 16.5 against a Georgetown team that's looking for a statement win. So I don't think Siena has what it takes to get any game within 20 points right now. So I'll continue to fade them and take Georgetown to cover.
All right. And don't forget, on social media today, Twitter and Instagram, we will post an underdog plays of the day, at least one under, at least one dog. So we usually release that around 10:30 or 11 o'clock Eastern this morning. So we will add that to Jay Smooth's basketball picks today. All right, Maestro, I know that you are locked and loaded on something NFL this morning. I just don't know what it is. Can you please tell me?
It's going to be ugly. I'm going to take the Texans. I'm going to take all those points. I took 10.5. It's minus 120 on SportsLine. You can find it minus 115 at some books. You might just find plus 10 at your book. But here's the thing. Tyrod Taylor, I sound like AB going, here's the thing. Anyway, Tyrod Taylor came back against Miami, and his timing was off. He had not played since week 2. I think we got to give him a break. I think we got to expect more of the Tyrod Taylor that we saw in week 1 and week 2 before he got hurt against the Browns. The Titans offense, 194 yards last week, 264 the week before, with no Julio, no Derrick Henry. This offense is very limited. Both teams run the ball a ton. Both teams play at a slow pace. Getting 10.5 is massive. Mike Vrabel, he almost always cashes as a dog, but as a favorite, 13, 18, and 1 against the spread. What a massive game on deck at New England, not only for the playoff chase, but how much that game means to Mike Vrabel with his Patriots lore. So I'm going to take 10.5. I'm going to expect a lot of running. I just think there's a lot of value. If we can avoid the big turnovers, I think we're going to get this cover.
All right. It just seems like it's just too many points in this situation. By the way, Rob, I see you in the chat. Speaking of too many, it was too many dollars that the missus spent on the Louboutins last night that we had live here on the show. And you just asked if they fit. I'm glad you asked. They did not fit. She's going back to the store today. I can't make this stuff up on the show. Are you kidding me? They didn't fit. They didn't fit. All right. We're up against it. Grab your paper, grab your pencil. Here is the recap, and it looks glorious. If somebody were to type up like what we say on the show and just put it somewhere and said, this is a sports betting show, they wouldn't believe it. They wouldn't believe it. Here we go. M squared, Utah State plus 4.5 today. There is basketball all day starting at noon Eastern. Tournaments all over the board. Enjoy it. Jay Smooth, 2 college basketball plays. James Madison plus 3.5. Georgetown minus 16.5. Then Maestro, 1 NFL play. Texans plus the 10.5. And 1 play from SportsLine. We're going to go Terrence Crawford Saturday night live on pay-per-view by decision over Sean Porter minus 120. Then the gym. It's been very successful the last few days, whether it's the gym or the AB3. Today we're going to go Memphis college football tonight on a Friday plus 8.5. And then Air Force on the money line. Whew. We are on fire. Let's hope it continues today. And don't forget, this is just a small sample size of what you can get if you're a member at SportsLine. But the one thing you don't get at SportsLine is this. You've got your marching orders. Let's take all of these tickets. Man, this feels so good. Straight to the pay window. For my entire team, M Squared, Jay Smooth, the Machine, the Maestro, and the Jeweler who puts it all together here at the brand. I am the coach. Tell all your friends there's only one place to start your day, finish your day, and have a whole hell of a lot of fun doing it. And it's right here at the Early Edge. Good luck.